He was green and white all the time. He bled green and white. His guiding force was the rainbows.
I think every program should have someone like him. Yeah, he's very innovative, creative, just works well with others, and
I would say the most humble man ever that always wanted others to succeed.
Everyone calls him Knox, and he was a legendary baseball player. And when you're warming up for games, you just want to find that rhythm, and Knox, he hit the most unbelievable fungo you've ever seen.
He wanted the young people to learn about baseball and became like the president of the Kailua National Little League. And also later he became the president of the Ko'olau Bobby Sox. Yeah, in fact, both of the teams ended up champions and they played on the mainland.
I guess to us, he was just kind of dad. As you grow older, you realize how much he did for you.
I think he really had a big influence on Coach Coolin. I think Bob, that was a really good relationship for Bob to understand the culture here, to understand how important baseball and softball was to the community.
John Nakamura was the first person that taught me the ways of the island, and he became my surrogate dad. He was smarter than the game.
yeah, we still have a lot of his inventions to help us hitting. So we still have a lot of those in our batting cages, his little gizmos and gadgets that he used to create himself, never patented them.
He created this bat, again with a baseball with a chain attached at the end, put the hit on so you can feel the whip going through the zone. Like, he was so creative.
You know, I look at him as Yoda. I always said that, you're Yoda. You just say a couple words and the kids get it. I say 100 words, they have no idea with my accent what I'm saying.
Very Mr. Miyagi. Just one word, cues, and
always had a way for you to paint the fence and the wax on, wax off, and relate it to softball. It was just, every innuendo was just philosophical and control what you can control. When you're having a bad day and it's raining, he's like, when it rains, I go, it pours. He goes, no, open your umbrella so you stay dry. And I'm like, I got you now. So yeah, that was him. He was fun too. I miss him a lot. Sorry.
He was part of the Letter Winners Club for years, had a passion for this place. He pitched when I was born, and he just, this is him, this whole building.
he was just a big part of our program and for me, myself. He helped a lot while I was here, and, you know, we miss him, and he helped build, you know, UH softball, so, and I appreciate him for it.
He would go to volleyball, basketball, softball, baseball, and he just would never miss a game.
Yeah, he really truly loved the University of Hawaii because that's where he first played college ball. So it kind of was like a full circle, you know, for him to come back and do that. And, you know, even after he stopped, he would constantly visit. It's such a heartfelt honor for our family, for the university to recognize him in that way.
I did not know that the Manoa Roofing Company was punching in this early. It usually takes them a while to get going, but tonight already, 2 blocks.
You have to think about legacy. These are people who have had an impact. These are people who are in many ways synonymous with the sport that they impacted. And I think that that standard is so easily met when you think about Chris McLachlin.
Chris McLachlin is one of the best. Locally, everybody knows him. He's known as the coach, known as CMAC. He's the standard of being an analyst.
Justin Todd played well against this Irvine team earlier this year. He got the starting nod tonight because of that, I'm sure.
I don't know whether people realize, you know, what a good coach Chris was or is.
He won like 130 games in a row coaching at Barnard. It's a national record for volleyball. And then they needed a basketball coach, So they asked him to help out with basketball, and he won 3 state titles in 4 years or something.
Let me remind you, Kanoa, the last 3 points are the hardest ones to get here in set 5. The last 3 points are the hardest ones to see if Hawaii can bear down.
Row sets in, Giacomo blocked. Did it get over the net? No, it did not.
And there's my buddy Kanoa. He and his dad meant so much to me. They both taught me so much about the art of broadcasting. I really appreciate and deeply indebted to both of them for teaching me so much.
He's the gold standard when it comes to it. He's able to put people onto the court, people who have never played volleyball a second of their life, and he's able to provide that experience of this is what they're going through right now, this is what they're thinking, this is what is happening in this match.
And Charlie right now, I guarantee, is saying, Kai, I love the ace, and I want your service run to be longer.
He was a players kind of coach. He was always involving the players, and it wasn't just all about the sport. It was a lot about the mind.
When you are respectful, watch great things happen. When you're appreciative and have gratitude, watch great things happen.
Good pass there by Sakanoko. Outside it's Roar, and he gets the kill.
And in France, they would call that last shot Le Smash.
Every time I crossed paths with him, no matter how comfortable or uncomfortable I was at that time in trying to find my place in this business, maybe what he didn't know is how much of an impact each of those conversations left on me.
He's a friend, he's a mentor, and somebody who always has the time.
He makes everyone around him feel so special. He makes everyone around him feel like he has time for them.
There's some moments this week, though, I know that in which you were very proud of David. Many times during the week, he had knocked out 5 opponents. What were some highlights for you?
The amount of work that he does both on air and off air with the University of Hawaii, all I can say is it's about time.
Well, you know, he's been doing what he's doing and doing it well for a long time.
A lot of adrenaline going on right now.
Here's Kearney. Which member of the McLachlin Ohana is in the University of Hawaii's Circle of Honor? That's always been the case, right up there, since 1986. Well,
Chris, let's go back to 1979 when you were the head coach for the Punahou boys basketball team.
Coach Mack, congratulations on getting inducted into the Circle of Honor. You've coached some pretty incredible athletes over the years, on the basketball court and the volleyball court. Whenever I got a little frustrated that I wasn't getting more playing time, you'd remind me that it wasn't about me, it was about the team. It took me a while to really understand that, but when I finally did, it ended up shaping the way I approached everything else in my life. Thanks for making so many of us better players and, more importantly, better people. Love you, man. Aloha.
Ladies feel perfect in the Big West. They played 3 this weekend at Fullerton, coming off a sweep of Riverside, where as a team, they hit 500.
We definitely set a statement for the rest of the conference that we're ready to roll and that we're here to win it. And I'm pretty proud of my team the way we hit last weekend.
Kelly Majam was a person I recruited when I started. She was on a club, San Diego Breakers, and she emerged. She came and I'm watching her and she's this 5'3" player, but man, she packed a punch.
She is probably one of the best human beings on this planet. I don't know anyone who's more positive, encouraging, humble, like through any situation.
When she speaks on Spectrum Sports for softball, you can see the passion that she has for the game. And she had that when she first walked on the field, when she first stepped foot here at UH Manoa. You could tell she was something special.
I came across her working out in Clum Gym, and I saw her running back and forth, and I knew that Bob Coolin had talked to me about how special this recruit was. And at that point in time, she had blown her ACL out and was waiting for surgery, and I could tell just a lot of angst.
When I think of Kelly Majam, I think of impact. And not just because of the impact of the bat, because she's this home run hitter and she's this spectacular athlete, but the kind of impact that she made on the state of Hawaii.
Named the second team academic All-American today. three-time All-Conference Scholar athlete, had the highest GPA on the team every season she's been at UH.
Kelly Majam, I just remember, covering her, and she was such a Terminator on the field. And yet when you would talk with her, there was no one that was sweeter or softer. But she turns into a serial killer on the diamond.
I can't say we taught her that. We started it and it evolved to what it is. And a lot of it was just her natural feel for things. She started playing year-round softball probably when she was 10. Early on with Kelly, you could tell she had that competitive instinct about playing, and she was very focused on what she was doing.
First game she ever played in, coming back from ACL surgery, she had a 2-run homer. I hadn't really seen somebody like Kelly on the women's side. To see her hit 30 home runs and lead the country her freshman year, I don't think that ever happens again.
Even all her home runs, I thought she might hit a few, but I never expected her to hit that many.
They drove to every single competition for their daughters.
Yeah, I actually drove to Alabama.
So I don't even know how many miles that is. I don't know if my dad knows, but he drove overnight. I'm just so thankful that my family made that commitment to watch, because it was once in a lifetime.
This is it. This is the last chance for Hawaii, and it's the best chance as we are at the top of the order. Kelly Majam, Jessica Iwata, Melissa Gonzalez.
Kelly got on base. Kelly got on base to be the tying run, and Jenna was the winning one.
The first pitch to Jenna Rodriguez, pulled down the left field line. The game ends on a walk-off home run for Jenna Rodriguez.
Kelly Majam was one of the leading power hitters on the team, and I think that made it just really fun to watch.
She wasn't bigger than the game. She didn't know she was the game.
I mean, I wish I could have all Kelly Majams out there. We'd go to the World Series every time.
Her just staying in Hawaii says a lot about her loyalty. I mean, she had that ACL injury, and then she had cancer.
Majum says her doctor told her that the success rate in treating papillary thyroid carcinoma is 97%.
It's a very successful and treatable cancer. So I thank God that I did feel pain, because I wouldn't have noticed it otherwise. It is a success story, and I am feeling better.
Kelly was the catalyst and the person that always set the table.
By the time that she's done, she's an All-American, multiple-time All-Conference honoree, multiple-time conference champion, helped lead Hawaii to the Women's College World Series.
She was nominated for Woman of the Year by the NCAA her senior year. She made people around her better, and she was one of the most prolific home run hitters in the history of the game.
Aaron Edmonds getting ready to kick off a very windy day. And Chad Owens leading the country in kickoff returns, gets it at his 5. Right side. And Owens finally shut out of bounds at the 32.
He's the type of player that you get your popcorn ready for, right? You don't want to leave your seat. There are few football players in UH football history that have electrified the way that Chad Owens did.
What a way to start for Chad Owens. You see, is 4th in the NCAA. Hawaii #1 as a team in kickoff returns yards.
Well, June Jones calls him the best he's ever seen.
He had to basically create his name and earn his own opportunities. And so he walked on to the University of Hawaii, if you would believe it. And he then just kept on working, kept on fighting, kept on trying to prove himself day in and day out on the practice field until he got these opportunities.
It's the last season-ending sellout in 10 years here at Aloha Stadium, and you cannot get a ticket to this one either. BYU and Hawaii have been bitter rivals. They haven't played though in 3 years, and Warrior fans would love to spoil that perfect season that the Cougars have had so far.
And it came to fruition for all to see in that game against BYU. And it was like, oh, who's this dude? The nickname Mighty Mouse accompanied it. It's like, oh yeah, that fits, because he is mighty and he might not be the biggest guy, but he will make you look stupid.
Chad Owens, what a day for him. A 100-yard kickoff return, a 74-yard punt return for touchdowns.
I always talk about walk-ons, and you always have them in your room. And the one guy every year, hundreds of different walk-ons, and the one guy I always bring up is Chad Owens.
I haven't seen many quarterbacks this year. We've done a number of games. I haven't seen many quarterbacks throw the ball like this.
No, and I haven't seen many receivers with hands like Chad Owens.
I mean, I talk about him to this day. I tell my players, my linebackers, we have to be great tacklers. I became a great tackler because I had to go up against Chad Owens every single day.
Chad Owens is forever an inspiration to people. This dude never gave up.
He's Chad, and he's done a lot to be proud of. He's just somebody that I think that he just accomplished everything that he wanted.
Aloha, I'm Chad Owens, and I'm here along with these amazing student athletes.
Giving back, I think that that's the way of thanking people. Without coaches, without mentors, the inspiration would have died.
I don't think he was ever doubted. He was always competitive. He would always critique himself. And it was more of what he thought of himself, and he would just grab whatever was fed to him, but seeing how he could get better on the next day.
Chad Owens, time and time again, saved the day for the University of Hawaii football team, right? It was almost like that punt return he had against Northwestern was the most Mighty Mouse thing ever. To this day, might be the most impressive football player I've ever seen in my entire life. The Montreal Alouettes bring him on into the CFL as a practice squad player. So now he's starting all over again. It's just like UH all over again, being a walk-on. He turns that opportunity into getting signed by the Toronto Argonauts and then leaving the Canadian Football League years later as one of the greatest to ever play in that league, setting every all-purpose record that there is, single season and career. He led Toronto to a Grey Cup, multiple-time All-Star, and a CFL Hall of Famer.
As a football player, I showed up to the gym and worked out because the purpose was to be a best player on that field. And now it's like, I want to be the best bodybuilder on that stage come comp day. I want to be the best version of myself.
He's the epitome of what you want a walk-on player to be. And what he did for this state and what he did for this university is well deserving for him to be in this Hall of Honor. That's why he's one of the best that this state has ever produced.
Even if you knew just a little bit about baseball, all you had to do is watch one at bat with Colton Wong. You just watch him swing the bat and you say, oh, this guy can hit. And that's exactly what he could do.
And he's just really big on it. Like, he's laid back, he's comfortable in his own skin, he's calm. And I think that's something that always helped him out with baseball, but also helped him just be somebody that everybody enjoyed being around. It's like, he just makes you feel at home when you talk to him, even when you first meet him.
My dad was a coach. Mom was definitely the cheerleader. She just had such a distinct voice that you could always hear her no matter where she was. Top step, yelling as loud as she could, so we knew that it was her, letting us know, that she was there. And I heard her, throughout the stands, excuse me. But she just had that voice.
Congratulations, so proud of you. Good job, all your hard work paid off. Congratulations, so proud of you.
We raised them to respect, your elders. I mean, respect the game. If it's baseball, football, basketball, he played a lot of sports. And just to be one good person, I mean, that's the way we raise all three of my kids.
Colton Wong is the person that turned that dream into reality. He was the best in the state of Hawaii. He could have gone anywhere, literally anywhere he wanted. He was already a Team USA standout. He was already drafted. He could have signed out of high school, but he decided to come to the University of Hawaii to play for the state of Hawaii, and he more than lived up to the hype.
Colton Wong is going to go down as one of the Mount Rushmore figures of UH baseball, without a doubt, without a doubt. For me, the greatness of Colton can be tied back to 2010 when Hawaii was playing in the Western Athletic Conference tournament, and then Colton Wong just started bashing home runs. And He came up clutch in so many situations, and he basically sent this team to a regional. And that changed the course of UH baseball history to a large degree. And certainly it helped to boost Colton Wong on a trajectory that was going to take him to a place that most players only dream of.
Deals. Molina in the air, left field. Wong ready to run. He tags. Here he comes. Duvall's throw, no chance. And the Cardinals have won game
Him playing in the major leagues for 11 years and two-time Gold Glove and you know got his picture on the UH Les Murakami's field. That's something that our dad, you know, would never forget.
That's Colton Wong, and that's what's possible. And he came into this program with probably the most hype any baseball player ever has. Like, how do you possibly meet those standards and those expectations that people place on him? And not only did he meet them, he exceeded them.
You know, now we're talking good stuff, but I'll bring up something that really helped him become an 11-year Major League vet and a two-time Gold Glove. It was in the World Series when Boston played against St. Louis.
The Red Sox win it 4-2.
No way can this happen. Wong, with his team down by 2, makes the last out.
We talked and I knew that he was going to be successful. When he said, Dad, I'm going to get the interview tomorrow. I'm going to tell my teammates, my coaches, Cardinal organization, and of course the city of St. Louis that I apologize and I'm going to give everything I can to correct that problem.
Wong hits it in the right.
Get up, baby, get up, get up.
Game over. Wong wins it in the ninth.
So Kolten Wong, UH Circle of Honor, you know, the one thing that surprises me about him being part of this class is the fact that it didn't happen already. Because, I mean, if your face is on the wall at Les Murakami Stadium, like if your image is already imprinted on the wall, you are immortal.
Every once in a while, you get a guy that comes along that is really good. When you thought of University of Hawaii, the 3 years he played here, you thought of Kolten Wong. And when that happens, he deserves an honor like this. And so congratulations, Kolten. I'm glad you're doing this or getting this honor bestowed on you.
I just want to tell Kolten, hey, Kolten, Jad, I just want to thank you for being a good husband, a good dad, a good brother, and a good son. And congratulations on the Circle of Honor, and I love you.